Hey Molly, how you doing? What's you doing, pretty girl? Hanging out here in the back gardens. So, I think I have a pretty good control. And I have learned that if I move the camera, it makes a lot of noise for you. So, I'm going to try to do a little better at filming that. Oops, sorry. See, there I made a noise probably. Let's take a tour finally for August 2020. So things are pretty glorious, but kind of wearing out because we're at the end of the season. I have some new planting plans for next year. Look, I have some planters. Actually, I'm probably going to do some fall plants in there, and then I've got that thing right there. It's a tower, so that's for next year. I think I'll do some strawberries in there next year for there. We still have our leaf blower out. I am over here. Can you see there the white thing in the corner? I'm dehydrating potatoes right now. I've figured out it's way too hot to do that in the house, so it's really cool. I can just set it right there and do it. And this is my new thing right here. I'm rearranging seating out here, so I have a little hammocky chair, which I like very much. I'm having a hard time getting out of it, to be honest, when I sit in it, because I don't ever want to leave. Let's take a look here. Look, the roses are looking nice, aren't they? They're a little bit beat up. I'm trying to make sure you can see what I'm looking at here. Yep. So I can control this camera with my phone, and then I can see what I'm filming on the phone, but I don't really want you to have to look at the phone while I'm looking at it. So I'm working on learning how to do that. We were just watering, so today is Wednesday, and I water on Wednesdays and Saturday in the back gardens. Look at the muscadines doing well. Yeah, I'm happy with the muscadine. I've been worried about it as I've been taking care of it this summer. I've been a little worried, but it's filling in and doing well. And if it can get through, like with the tree in the front, if it can get through September, we should be okay. And a rose back here is doing good. The ground is not pretty or anything because I got the sand here, but okay. But look, these lovely blooms. So it's a really nice light small flower. This rose is, I don't remember the name of it. I have it written down, but look how many petals are in that. It's just really amazing. Try to get it to where you can see it. There it is. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? It's just beautiful. I love it. But anyway, the ground around it's not very pretty, and I have lots of weeds to deal with. We have some clouds coming in, which is interesting. Lately, it's been messing with me. Like, clouds come in. Let's take a look at them up there. And gets real humid. Acts like it's gonna rain. Rains for about 3 minutes, and then it goes away. So then I'm like, I guess I do have to water. I don't know. Do I need to? Do I not to? I don't know. The grass is repairing really quite nicely, and you can see here if we get real close. Let's see. Bring it up there. Okay, right there. Get my phone out of the way, and you can see the clover is growing in nicely. So I'm happy with that. And then we still have some dry area right there that I'm not happy with, but it is getting better. And I lost my tree. It died. It was like doing good. It had leaves, and then boom, it died. So I had to take it out. I'm gonna put another one in though. I may just go ahead and buy one. Our sunflowers are all droopy, but that's because they are you know, heavy with the seed. And I'm leaving them there because the birds really are just having a blast over there this year. Let's see if we can get a picture. I have to get a picture of that really pretty red sunflower back there. Our aspen trees did so much better this year. They are still burned from the heat. Let's see if we can get that. There you go. Okay. So you can see the edges of the leaf is real burned there. Bring it down. There we go. Okay. But it is in much better shape than it was last year at this time, and that's because of that wonderful tree right back there. That's helping it. Raspberry bush, look at, it's just out of control. It's growing over here. I've got to get that pulled out. I've got some weeds growing in here. This area is just a mess. That's okay. We'll work on it later. Trying to keep up with everything. Hey, Miss Molly. What you doing, Miss Molly? The lemon balm's ready to cut again, and look how nice and healthy it is. It's just beautiful, I think. Just perfect. And I'm gonna pinch off some of the flower. I see some flowers popping in. I'll pinch off some of that. Anyway, I'm gonna come back and cut that again because they're really beautiful and healthy, and that'll be great to dry again. And then right up here, this rose needs to be trimmed back. It just needs to be deadheaded is all. But we've got more buds on it already. And I need to cut back the hollyhocks. That's all died off, so I need to cut it back. And then this tree here is nice and big and tall, and we've got too much sun in our eyes, so let's turn around here, get a different angle. The peach tree is looking pretty good. I'm real happy with the peach tree at the moment. I did trim that side back. I'm going to trim the other side back a little bit later, and then I'm going to have to get a real tree trimmer for the top because, well, I'm already short and it's super tall. So this has been here 3 years. It's amazing how fast it's grown. I have a succession of pictures every spring, and I'll do one again this month because it's just so tall. And this tree's looking real good too. Really happy with the Leland. I trimmed that back earlier this summer. It got too big. It's doing well. And then let's go on up here. Let's see. Right here by our little lamp, we have this lovely apple tree. It's very happy because I trimmed back the peach tree, so it's nice and healthy, looking good. All right, let's go to the sunflower grotto. That's what I'm gonna call it. Look at this. Oh, aren't they pretty? I love walking in this way. Oh, look. Oh, he left. Oh, I was like, there's that great big bumblebee. Oh, there's one up there too. Let's see if we can expand our view. Can we? No, we can't. Okay. But I love walking through these sunflowers. They're so incredibly tall. Let's look under. Isn't this fun? Okay, remember, I'm 4'10", and these things are like towering over me. Okay, let's go through here. Here we go. And here we are to another tree, another apple tree. This one's looking really good. I think this one's the Honeycrisp. I don't know. I always lose track of which is which. Look at that. Way up there. Can you see it? Let's see. I'm going to adjust. Yeah. There you go. Okay, now you can see it. Look how tall that thing is. That thing's so huge. And, oh, look, right there. Okay, I'm going to try to get close. without disturbing it. Look at that beautiful bumblebee. This is why I grow them, for guys like this. And I wish I had a way of being out here and not disturbing all of the incredible birds that come in here in the mornings. Because, oh, there's another one. Look at that fat guy. Can you see him? Yeah, I think you can. There we go. So cool. Two of them. Whoop. Sorry, I had to jump back. That bee scared me. Okay, I'm gonna go through here. Look at that. Sunflowers. Oh, I think it's so cool that I can get that close with the camera for you guys. Okay, these trees did much better this year too. Look at, I'm gonna go try to look all the way up. There we go. Okay, it's pretty good. Boy, that's a good shot. I should take a picture of that. And this tree back here in the corner, ooh, tripping. It's struggled, but it is coming to life now. I think I've got the ground built up. I stuffed a whole lot of hay back in there around it, and I've watered it more. It gets watered 3 times a week instead of 2 like the rest of the garden, but it's coming back to life, and next year it should need less. Let's take a look at our tomatoes. Aren't they fabulous? So I'm making some new plans for next year, changing it already. I'm gonna leave this side open. I'm not gonna put the corn here because it's just so much easier to get in here with all the tomatoes. And I was gonna move these tomatoes to a different part of the garden, but I really like working with them here. I thought they would get way too tall for me to work, but by the time they get way too tall, we're looking at the end of the season. And one of the reasons these do so well is I do the method of trimming the leaves away, because I'm trying to grow tomatoes, more tomatoes, less leaves. So I do trim away a lot of leaves so that they get more sun and more nutrients. And then I also try to keep track of these things. These, see if you can see me do that. Yep, there we go. These suckers that grow in the middle of crevices. I pull those out as much as possible. And then we get huge amounts of tomatoes in this very small space. Oh. Good. So next year they're going to go here. The corn is going to go where the potatoes are now. The potatoes are going to go into either along that wall back there, or in those, they're actually potato bags, those planters I just got. This mess pulls a bit of a mess. I really enjoyed it, but we're going to try to improve on that next year. We'll see. Right now it's just kind of the end of the season. Let's get some more tomatoes. More beautiful tomatoes. Sunflowers, sunflowers. Oh, look. There's another bee right there. Oh, hi, little bee. Oh, they're so pretty. Look at that bee. So beautiful. It's amazing. You can see the pollen collecting on his little legs. All right, we'll leave you alone. And let's look at our crazy melon. It is a crazy melon. We've got melons and melons and more melons and more melons. Just melons everywhere, which makes me very happy. I like melons, and I like how they look. The plant itself is really pretty. Oh, look, and more melon. And another melon right there. There we go. Oh, okay, now look at the ground. Okay, let's look at the ground. Look at right here. Okay, so I put in like 1 billion clover seeds and then covered the area with hay. And there have been birds like crazy in here, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna lose all of that clover, but look, it's just coming up. So even though the birds had some snacks, we've got some plants coming up, and it's all over. It's really cool. Okay, the strawberry bed, not looking great, but this part has to be built back up anyway. And this, you know, they're just old. It's the end of the season. But I am still keeping them wet, so they're alive. I need to build that up as well. But last year, I just covered them all with, what did I cover them all with? Wood chips. And it was great because it just killed down the dead. And the new life came up through it. So we'll do that again here. This side I'm going to build up because it's just... mainly because I put stuff under it like cardboard, boxes, pieces of wood, and it is all decomposing, and so it's sinking. So we'll build that back up and we'll put more strawberry plants in there, some new ones. And then over here, let's take a look at what we're doing over here. Hey, Miss Molly. Molly and I have been having arguments about her hair getting brushed, but we have found a new brush that makes us both happier. Okay, over here the floor is mostly done. It's not perfect, so these are too far apart, so it means a lot more work for me later, but I wanted to have it completed. So later I'll purchase more of these boards, and then I'll have to unscrew them, push them back that way, and fill it in and seal it again. But that's okay. I'm just happy we have that done. And of course over here is compared. It's so lovely here, and then, oh, it's a mess. But we'll get to that soon. I really am happy with this one. This one's the perfect lineup, and I wanted it to be flipped. Like over here they matched, but it's the only way I could do it. Although I may change that because I just misspoke. I'm actually going to lift up the one that Molly's sitting on over there and flip it, because they are both 8 by 8. And so if I flip it, it's the same thing. So then I have a cool pattern on the floor. And then when sorry about the choking. There is a lot of smoke in the air. We have fires from Colorado blowing in. And then we have a couple of fires north of Santa Fe, and it's really bad again. Anyway, the one that she's sitting on there, I'll turn it, and then where the pool is, that's where I'm going to put a real deck. I'll have to use real decking there because it's sand underneath it. So I'll have to use the heavy-duty stuff across there, and then I'm planning on probably going across the grass where those chairs are to our walking path, just halfway into the grass area, so that we have the deck that goes with the same shape as these retaining walls that used to be a fence that we cut down because it was such a wasn't attractive. And then I'm going to do some kind of stone stacking in front of those pylons, the big railroad tie things. Eventually, that's, you know, a long way down the road. So once we have the real deck there, that's where we'll put either this pool again next year, or I'd really like to do a stock tank pool where I can have a sand filter or something like that. That's the plan there. And then here, this floor here, I'm going to do the same as that floor over there, all the way across here. Again, it's really well protected. It's sloped. I like the brick pattern. It's really pretty. But then we have this horrible cement thing around it, and I can't figure out how to keep this and cover this. So we're just going to do the whole thing. And the new chair that I was talking about earlier, just lovely. I do enjoy it. But over here, this area, we're going to be getting that cleaned up. So the papasan chair we really enjoyed for a while, but it's just really too hot to sit in. And then in the winters, we're not out here. So I took the other one and put it in my living room, and I just love it there. And this big ottoman thing is really old and falling apart, and Molly used to jump up on it, but she is aging now. I know, isn't that hard to believe? I have a hard time believing that she's getting older, but she's about 8 years old, and with the thyroid issues, she has some joint issues, and we're taking care of them, but she doesn't like to jump up on that anymore. So we're gonna take that out of there, and we'll take the papasan out, and we'll put a rocking chair there for hubby, because he has requested a rocking chair. And then we'll get the floors done, and this space will be finished. So we're getting really close. Over where the mess is back here, beside the shed, I thought, well, I'm gonna clean it up, and then I'll put the floor in there, and it'll be great. But you know what? I'm always piling stuff in there. So I'm gonna be putting a gate there so you can't see all the junk that I have to keep back there. Not a real tall one, but because we'll still see the lovely kayak. We keep the kayaks around just because we enjoy seeing them. We don't really use them anymore. Kiddo just can't go out and travel. So, of course, no one can travel right now anyway. So, anyhow, there you go. I hope I didn't talk your ear off or bore you to death or make you dizzy. I hope you got to see everything on that video. It's going to take me a little while to figure it out. And Miss Molly, what'd you say, Miss Molly? Aren't you a pretty girl? Yeah, see, pretty girl. I'm gonna go back to finishing the watering, even though it looks like it might rain. Oh, the rain barrels. I got to use them, by the way. I did. It's so exciting. So I used most everything that's in them. So when it rains again, they'll fill again. So I really like that. Also, the pool, we do not use chlorine. We have a filter on it, and that's why it's a little messy. We do use a spa treatment, but it's not chlorine. But next year, like I said, I'd like to get a sand filter, so I don't have to do that even, because it's a better, the spa stuff is much better than chlorine, but it's still something I'd rather not use. So next year we'll do better, but that's how it works. I always feel like you do the best you can with what you've got, and then you learn how to do a little better at it, and you learn your way. Anyhow, Molly might have saw a tiny lizard. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.